On this episode of Cooking with Mel, we're going to do stuffed zucchini. What's really great about this recipe is it can be served as a main dish or a side. It's up to you. So let's get started. So remember how I told you that we're not allowed to use liquids when using our vacuum sealer? I figured out a way to beat the system for that. I'm going to make a simple tomato sauce that we're going to use for our stuffed zucchini. And I'm using fresh oregano. If you do not have fresh oregano available, you can use dry oregano. Okay, so I'm just going to take some of this fresh oregano off the sprig. I'm going to use about a full tablespoon. And I'm going to loosely chop it. Once we are done with the oregano, we'll put it in the mixing bowl. I'm going to use minced garlic, a good healthy serving tablespoon. I'm using an organic tomato sauce, but you can use whatever is available to you. This has, how many ounces is in it? This is a 15-ounce serving of tomato sauce. For this recipe, we will not be using that much tomato sauce, but we're going to make the whole jar. Add some salt and pepper. Okay, so we're going to stir our tomato sauce lightly. So this is a little weird, but we're going to do this. I'm going to take a freezer-safe container. I'm going to take a piece of plastic wrap. This is more of insurance to make sure it comes out once it's frozen. Okay. We're going to wrap it the inside, and we're going to pour our tomato sauce. And I'm going to cover it with its lid. And I'm going to stick this into the freezer, and once it's frozen solid, we'll be able to put it into the vacuum seal bag with our stuffed zucchini, and it will thaw out and cook and season. So we're using Italian squash or zucchini. When I am searching for zucchini that I'm going to stuff, I just make sure that it's pretty wide so I can be able to hollow it out. If I had a really skinny zucchini, it wouldn't be ready to stuff. So it needs to be a little on the chubby side. Okay, so I'm just going to get rid of both ends. Okay, so I just kind of use the apple core to eat around it to take away the meat of the zucchini. That's right, zucchini meat. And this is a really good vegetarian dish. I like it because you can do it as a side dish, or you can do it as a main meal. I have part skim mozzarella that I am going to, and it's like a block of cheese that you get. Instead of it being the fresh mozzarella that's normally in the ball, this is the mozzarella that's cured. And so we're just going to cut it. And then we're going to cut it again. And we are going to stuff, this one has a little bit larger hole, so I have a larger piece of cheese, and I'm going to stuff the cheese inside. And I always go from the bottom or the bigger side and put the cheese in there first. And then I'm going to stuff this zucchini. We're going to put them in our vacuum sealed bag. When we're freezing our tomato sauce for this recipe, I would just make sure that you plan ahead for it, because it does take some time. Depending on your freezer, my freezer took about 4 to 6 hours to freeze it thoroughly. I did not use the full can of tomato sauce. I used about 10 ounces or a cup and a quarter. Now you see why we use the plastic wrap. It makes it so much easier to take it out of the container when it's frozen. We're going to put the frozen tomato sauce on top. And we have our mozzarella stuffed zucchini with our frozen tomato sauce. We're going to stick this into our AquaChef that's been preheated to 185 degrees, and we're going to cook it for 1 hour. We have our stuffed zucchini that we're going to put into our AquaChef basket. You don't have to worry about the top of this being in the water. The food is the most important part. We're going to close our basket. And it's okay that the basket isn't closed. When the AquaChef is done cooking, the indicator light will turn red and you'll hear a series of beeps. So we are going to take out our stuffed zucchini, lift the basket, and we're going to use our tongs to lift the lid. And remember that since we added liquid that is frozen, it is going to be in liquid state now since it's done cooking. And here's our stuffed zucchini. It is so delicious and flavorful, and it is something that you will enjoy to eat as a side dish or as a main dish or whatever you choose. It is so good, I had to control myself and not eat it on camera.